a special edition of the GuestX podcast. I am your co-host, Matthew Loney, and we are here at the beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida for the Phocuswright Summit. And I'm here with my co-host, Brian Maui. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're doing well. Last day,
Getting
you're
through it.
almost to lunch.
Yeah.
This is, it's going to all start to wrap up. Yeah, our next guest is someone that our listeners are going to know very, very well. Barrett is the President COO of Guesty, a very popular property management software system in the vacation rental industry space, and someone that we're thrilled to have. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. It's amazing as big as vacation rentals have gotten. Here at Phocuswright, it still feels, most of the people I run into are on the hotel side, flights, those type of things. So it's great to see someone who has a lot of the same shared experiences as Brian. So tell for our listeners, maybe it'd be helpful just give them a little bit of background for those who don't know about Guesty, out of Israel, very big in the U.S. market, and just kind of how you've gotten to this point.
Sure. So Guesty is about 8 years old. We're an end-to-end solution for property management companies of all shapes and sizes and to help them streamline their operations. Visit. We've raised our last round of funding this year in April, $50 million grant funded to $110 million. We have 350 employees all around the world, US, Europe, and of course our telephone and by the way, we've just purchased 2 companies this year, which we've announced, MyVR out of the US and Phocuswright out of the Netherlands. And the interesting thing is that just yesterday we rebranded and relaunched your portal app as Guesty for Hosts, providing mobile first self-service solution for the smaller hosts. So now we can really say we can cater for the entire ecosystem and all segments from the individual host to the host.
That's very interesting. I mean, we talk about technology and tech stack a lot in the industry, especially, we've got so much technology. What is your guys' view on starting to consolidate some of the technologies out there for property management? Because we have so many options. Because, operationally, it gets complicated and
Expensive too. Yep.
Yeah, so this is really our vision, first of all, that we want to create this end-to-end solution where all you need to do when you get up in the morning is open your laptop, see the Guesty dashboard, and manage everything from there. That's what the experience we want to do. So first of all, we have a very robust solution covering the demand side, the supply side, owners management, task management, business applications, accounting, and so on and so forth. But we also have our marketplace of services. We have over 100 different partners connected through our API to the Guesty marketplace, which allows you to toggle on additional services such as smart automation, dynamic pricing, fintech solutions, and others to really give you a very robust solution covering all your needs, but from a single point of the dashboard. And we really think that that's what the property managers are looking for. They don't really want to stitch 20 different solutions together. It's more costly, it's not comfortable, it's not convenient. You need to train staff on so many different solutions. We're trying to create a world where all you need to do is know your Guesty applications, and that's it.
Yeah, I do think that we've talked about most of the people who get into this business are hospitality people. They want to be on the front lines. I think a lot of it, talking to their guests, creating that great guest experience, being back behind a computer all day, to your point of trying to get all this stuff to work together is not what they envisioned when they got in this business. And so I think for a group like Guesty to be able to take that on is really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, from an interface perspective, you've got to have some way to manage it all. And I think you guys have done probably one of the best jobs bringing all of those technologies together and serving to the property managers for them to pick and choose the solutions that they need, work with Guesty, get the data that they need out of it, and then give it to market.
Yeah. So when you look across the property management software landscape, I still feel like maybe because of the increased popularity of vacation rentals, it still feels like before we're going to see maybe a contraction, it keeps growing. The number of solutions. Where is it? I mean, where do we head? What are the solutions maybe that still need to be built out as Guesty kind of looks across the landscape? Because I think at some point we're going to have to see some contraction to the cream of the crop, right? And because I will tell you, even from Explorer's standpoint, Brian brought this up earlier. Needing to integrate with 30 property management software systems becomes a job to itself. And so, how do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, I think consolidation is bound to happen because of the growing popularity of short-term rentals. Everyone thinks that they can start a PMS now, and some of them are like automated Excel sheets. They're not really software, and some of them are really, really small, very niche, very local. So you have one just for Italy, one for Spain, one for Germany, all kinds of spaces that we see. So, first of all, I believe that some of them, unfortunately, will cease to exist in coming years because they'll understand it's not that simple to really maintain strong, the integrations at the level that customers expect. Everybody can say, we're connected to Airbnb and Booking.com, whatever. The question is, what is the level of integration? Those guys are releasing APIs on a weekly and monthly basis. Can you really keep up with a team of 2 people? Probably not, right? So I think that we'll see more consolidation. The big guys getting bigger eventually. I think we'll probably see 2 or 3 leading software platforms out there, us being of course the leading one.
Sure.
But we'll also see more and more consolidations of the small ones being merged into the larger ones. And also niche solutions being merged into more end-to-end solutions such as those.
And do you think we will see, is there a day in our future where we see more of a common API, common language, that makes it a little easier to bolt on different tool sets?
I hope so. I mean, it's bound to happen. I think everybody's craving the consistency and the professionalism of our industry. It just doesn't make sense to continue this way. And the more consolidation out there, the more mature our market becomes, the more we'll have tools and rules and ways of doing things. And hopefully we will drive it. Some of the large OTAs will drive it as well with their requirements. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit. I mean, you guys have a lot of data. Matt and I, we love data. Talk to us about what you guys are seeing coming out of COVID, some of the trends that you're seeing, booking, destinations, growth of property management companies. What kind of data, fun data can you give us and our listeners?
We have really so much data. First of all, we have a lot of data because we have a lot of properties, but also we have an amazing data and analytics team that just crunches the numbers and creates more and more reviews for us. We're seeing a lot of things. First of all, I think everybody knows that the pandemic, at the end of the day, was really good for our industry. It sounds really sad to say so, but that's the case. Because it really allowed it to go mainstream. A lot of people who've never tried the short-term rentals before have tried it for the first time and really liked it and will continue to use it. What we're seeing in terms of numbers is really spiking numbers. For example, just to give you some color, the Thanksgiving reservations are 300% higher than last year. If you're wondering if it's only because of COVID, it's also 100% higher than pre-COVID. Okay? Christmas is 469% higher than last year, about 157% higher than pre-COVID Christmas. So numbers are really spiking. Also, rates are spiking. So you would just pay more, like at least 50% more than last year for your Christmas holiday or Thanksgiving holiday. So that's also something we're seeing. There's more demand. The supply does not catch up as quickly as the demand, and as a result, prices go up, occupancy rates are up, everything is up. And we continue to see those trends into 2022. So if during the pandemic, at least in the beginning, people only booked 7 days in advance max because no one knows what's going to happen next, right? All of a sudden we see people planning their holidays in advance again, booking with a longer booking window, which is great. Another thing we're seeing, and I'm sure that's no surprise, during the pandemic, the stays became longer. So kind of doubled, I think, in the first months of the pandemic. We saw from 4.5 days to 9 days. Because a lot of people needed isolation, went away for larger homes outside the city, things like that. So we saw that growing. It kind of shrunk back, but not to the levels pre-pandemic. So still people are booking longer vacations or longer stays than pre-pandemic. As a result of a lot of things, I think that digital nomads have become a real thing. The funny thing is that I spoke about digital nomads before the pandemic, how it's becoming, people don't want to be long-term, they want to extend short-term and short stays in different locations. But now everybody has become a digital nomad. I can be a digital nomad, you can be a digital nomad, right? Yep. It's like everyone's working. So I think we're seeing that trend continue with more and more furnished apartments offered for longer stays as well as short weekends and holidays.
It is certainly an evolving industry. Before we got on, you mentioned that Guesty's product continues to evolve partly because the customers are expanding their product lines. What was a vacation rental before, or was a hotel, or what, we're starting to think outside, even more outside the box about what can be a vacation rental. And the technology's got to grow with that, which I think is phenomenal. So tell us, as we kind of wrap up, your view, how has the show been? It's obviously a little more intimate than in the past. I think a lot of people internationally still, the U.S. just opened, I don't know, a week or so ago. But how has the show been? I know you were able to present with Airbnb. Congratulations, by the way. It's an honor to be able to chosen for a panel here at Phocuswright. What's kind of your takeaway? Anything jump out at you in the last couple of days?
Well, first of all, I think it's great to, there's really no replacing a face-to-face. And the type of interaction, the relationship building, everything is just so much different. You meet people in person, have a drink together, have a dinner together. It's really, I'm really happy to be going back to those days of pre-pandemic. Although we had some really successful virtual events, it's just not the same thing. So really happy about that. I think there's a lot of optimism in the air. Everybody's feel the industry's coming back, travel is coming back. With the recent opening of borders in the U.S. to European travelers, for example, just think about it. I was in Burma last month, and Europeans couldn't come in, right? It was a U.S. only international Burma.
I think Simon was the only one.
He was.
And he had to get some.
Yeah, he managed to pull it off, right?
But if anybody's going to manage to, it's going to be Simon. Yeah, somebody owed him a favor.
And his red shoes.
And his red shoes, yeah.
Yeah, but so all of a sudden you're seeing people from across the country coming over, which is great. And I really think that, as I've mentioned, the short-term rental industry has become a respectable member of the community. We're not just an alternative accommodation solution. We're not alternative. We're mainstream. We're out there. People want to have short-term rentals. That's what they're looking for. And I think that we really feel it in the air. We feel it with our partners, with the OTAs, with everyone that is really thinking this.
I'm really happy she brought that up. I don't hear alternative anymore.
No, you don't. And it's nice. It goes back to when we talked to Peter, who's the head of Phocuswright. I joked with Peter that I think 5-6 years ago, when we watched Exploring, they launched a big report and maybe 10 or 15 pages were dedicated to vacation rental. Now they're doing, its own report. It's massive. It's hundreds of pages. So it is, yes, it's nice to kind of have a little bit higher standing, I guess, among from the rest of the crowd. So it's great.
So if people want to reach you guys, how do they do it? Who do they get in touch with to see the platform and learn more about Guesty?
Just go to guesty.com and you can request a demo, you can get in touch with us, and of course I'm available on LinkedIn and happy to reach out to anyone who wants to learn more about our industry.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. We know time is tight at Phocuswright. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you guys.